is Rockstar their own worst enemy? Is the reason they're popular why they keep getting leaked? And obviously, Jetro, this is one of your points, but I'd like to just open up on it a little bit there with...
Yeah, of course.
Like, the fact that they are so secretive, I feel like does make them a target, because at the end of the day... Right, all right, put it this way. If I did a video about the financial report for Bethesda or Naughty Dog Games... No one would care because it is just not interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it would get maybe 100 views, and they're just the people that will come to my videos anyway. No one would watch it. But the fact that I did a video talking about the financial interests of Take-Two Interactive, and it got 30,000 views in 24 hours. And that tells you that anything that goes behind the veil... It's like documentaries about North Korea. They're interesting because it's not accessible. It's
true.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it's secret.
Exactly.
No one knows what's going on.
What we don't know
really.
is more interesting than what we can access. The fact is, if I can Google something, and I think this applies to all of our videos, if we can Google something and get the exact answer, our videos would become irrelevant. But the fact is when we make videos, we do a bit of research, we weigh in our opinions and thoughts, because we spend hours geeking out over Rockstar stuff, and that's why people view our content. But I feel like for Rockstar being their own worst enemy, I do believe that is the case. But at the same time, like, what is the alternative? Because there isn't one.
And I would even go as far to say that it's not even about... I know I was the one that put it, but I wouldn't even more so say it's about how popular they are, but more importantly about how long they take.
Yeah.
Because... Right, you think about something like the let's say Call of Duty franchise, right? Like a new game every year. So you can go spoiler free, and you know that probably from the day this COD launches in a year, there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
For GTA, it's like this will be 12 years. And so not only does that make everyone way more hype to want to see more info, but it's also, like, comparatively to COD, it's 11 more years that you have for stuff to be leaked, which is it's more of a question of when rather than if for leaks and
GTA. Good point.
Kind of ties back into a question that I get on my channel, like, oh, what are you gonna make videos about if there's no more leaks? And I'm like, there will be, and people have commented back to that going, how do you know? And I'm like, because there just is. It's impossible to employ 6,000 people and Rockstar to be at the peak of their public interest and not have some form of leak. Now, I think at the moment we are definitely in a dead zone for news for the past week.
For sure.
But that being said, we've still had Tom Henderson come out and make some statements about some Kotaku reports. We've had Jason Schreier posting an investment report. If we can have 2 bits of really big and like nice information in 1 week, like, and that's a quiet week, like a busy week is outstanding.
Look, I think the thing is, when you've got a game that's so securely, it's been so long since, for obviously GTA 5 released till now, and it's still, GTA 6 is still not even out. It's such a long gap in between. You just feel like it's just expected for leaks to just sort of surface. Like you said, there's about 6,000 employees working on this game. That's so many.
Mental.
So I'd say that it's more than likely stuff's going to get out to some degree. And I think the thing is, in terms of Rockstar becoming their own worst enemy, and the reason why they're why stuff keeps getting leaked out. Obviously, we're in a dry spell at the moment, but I think up until the game's release, that's going to come out next year, we're definitely going to be seeing probably more that's going to be coming out leak related. Obviously, they're tightening their security a bit more so now with next month actually, that they're in a few days they're going to be, all the staff's going to be coming back to the office Monday to Friday, and perhaps maybe we won't see as much, but I still think more will probably come out. But yeah, that's obviously unofficially.
I think as well, because the return to office mandate starts on I believe it's the 1st of April. It's either the 1st or the first couple of days of April.
Yeah, it's a few days.
A lot of people have resigned from Rockstar.
Oh wow.
When I say a lot of people, I mean I think in total it's about 50, 60 people, which, it's not a lot in the grand scheme of 6,000 employees. All it takes is 50, 60 people to either quit, get fired, or take voluntary redundancy, not be happy with their agreement to start leaking stuff. And obviously that's all going to come into effect from the 1st of April for the following weeks, months that may follow that. So I think we're about to get into either a period that's going to be either really dry because Rockstar's more secure, or extremely wet with news because of all of this turmoil. I think like if there is a period where we're going to be expecting the most amount of leaks, it's going to be in the next couple of months.
Agreed.
I mean, I think we all agree that there's probably going to be at least some new leaks. How much and if it's relevant, we'll wait to see. But do you guys think there's going to be like a bunch of small leaks, or do you think there's a possibility we still get another, maybe not the same size as the 2022 leaks, but large in nature leak?
Oh, I think probably small scale. I don't think it's going to be anything large that it was in September 22. I mean, if it is, unless when it's closer to the release of the game. I mean, if it's like a Last of Us, The Last of Us Part 2, when the story leaks came out very close to the launch, that could be pretty worrying. Because I mean, if the story does get out, and it may happen that it might get leaked out a few weeks before, probably, because that's when a lot of the some companies and that they have the review copies and they have to do certain reviews, this and that. So maybe it may get leaked out before then, but yeah, it's hard to say. But
I don't know if you guys know this, but for GTA 5, actually, I think it was 3 weeks or so before the game released, every piece of dialogue was leaked for the game.
Yeah.
Literally the entire story, all the radio stations. So there is a possibility for another like massive leak to come, but whether it does or not is unknown.
A little thing I want to touch on there is so obviously the hack that happened in 2022, that wasn't really a hack, it was more of a social engineering hack. It was convincing someone to reset their password on the Slack messaging platform, which is just a basic phishing scam. And what I have noticed, I went back a few days ago just to actually have a look at all of the news at the time of that. A lot of the hacking community condemned the hack because it wasn't to expose a business or corporation or a company for bad behavior. It was just to gain access to someone's intellectual property. So a lot of the hacking community actually didn't condone on it. I am 1,000,000% sure that there are at least 1,000 hackers right now that with a couple of clicks of a button could gain access into Rockstar, but they're probably just choosing not to for legal issues. Obviously, it's a nightmare to deal with. Secondly, mutual respect. And this is something that's very weird about Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is a game that's loved by so many people from all different walks of life. I feel like the only reason a hacker would want to hack into like Rockstar servers now would be primarily for ransom, secondarily to play the game early, thirdly to expose some leaks and get some internet clout. But if they did do that, they'd end up in jail. There's a whole load of people out there that have the capability to do it, but just don't really want to. We all have a mutual respect for Rockstar.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, agreed.